based NGO that started to work in Cape Town in one facility that we call hospital that we called Hoteskiel in 2001. Our main focus is to provide peer support, social support to our women that we enrolled in our program that are HIV positive and HIV negative, that are pregnant up to being new mothers up to 2 years, and then their babies are 2 years old. And then they exited the program to another program that will continue to provide services for them.
So it's really about support for mothers with HIV and or AIDS. Uh, Obviously, that being said, we understand that the eThekwini Municipality in KZN have indicated that there has been an alarming rate of new HIV infections amongst girls and young women between the ages of 13 and 19 years old. So let's look at that issue. Why has there been this new alarming rate between this age group of girls and women? What about the boys and the men? Are we saying that they are okay, they haven't been infected? What exactly is the story here, Babalwa?
So, as I have mentioned, that Mothers to Mothers works with women from all ages. So, I've mentioned that our women, we see them up to their babies when they are 2 years old. And then we refer them to another program that is within the program, within Mothers to Mothers, where they will be provided support to enhance their infants and themselves to get support. And then, as I said, that these women, we continue providing support from to adolescent age as well. So one of our programs, we do see adolescent girls and young women from 10 to 24 years. Yes, we will agree with that. Based on that, our adolescent girls and young women program that we are supporting in eThekwini, we started last year in 2020, and then until 2021, this year, March. We've observed that there is an increase of 10 to 14 girls that become pregnant, and 15 to 19 as well that become pregnant. So our concern was based on that it could be, because these are young girls, it could be contributing factor, could be engaging to sex at early age, or they conceive out of their consent, maybe due to GPV or other issues. But the challenge that we found is that these girls do not talk much about these underlying situations that they live with that contribute to the unplanned pregnancy, because most of them are unplanned pregnant.
Okay, so you obviously don't come into contact with the adolescent boy, child, and the young men who probably are also responsible for the high infection rates of HIV and AIDS. Is there an organization that supports the boy child and the young men around these issues to educate them, to explain to them how deadly this can become, and to support them as you are supporting young girls and young women?
So what we are doing as we engage with these women, we do find in some instances whereby the boy will come, or in the adolescent youth-friendly facilities where there are boys and girls that are attending those facilities. Our peer mentors do provide education on those unpregnant boys and girls in terms of HIV, importance of testing, and the importance of not engaging on any sexual activities. So we do provide that, although it's not our mainstream or our main focus of our program.
Undoubtedly, you're also concerned about the recent reports in the press round about schoolgirl pregnancies, just the rise, the unprecedented rise with schoolgirl pregnancies. Clearly, the education campaigns around safe sex and no sex, perhaps amongst teenagers or school-going children, doesn't seem to be getting through to their targeted audiences. What do you believe government and NGOs and NPOs should be doing to start getting this very important message or messages through to young people so that we can avoid these rapid or sharp rises in HIV, AIDS, and other infectious diseases and sexually transmitted diseases?
My proposal would be that we increase our awareness programs and not be reserved with the educational, sex educational topics within our homes and in schools and even in our community. Because the challenge is that we are not ready to accept that things have changed. Our children grow fast and they adopt easily and adopt easily on the lifestyles that they experience and they are exposed at in the world. So it is important for us to engage with them freely to talk about these educational sex topics, more especially in schools, and bring these awareness programs where we bring people, young people, who will be able to talk and educate them about the importance of delaying sexual debate and also ensuring that they understand the risks that they can get into if they can engage in sex in early ages.
All right, health experts are saying that they're seeing a new trend, the spiraling HIV and obviously HIV and AIDS numbers are spiraling probably out of control if nothing is done about it. They're also suggesting that it could be because of the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, creating a problem where HIV prevention products are not reaching the targeted people. Your thoughts on that, and how can we change the scenario to make sure that these vulnerable young women and their babies get the medication that they so direly need to keep themselves healthy?
I would like to say, firstly, it is important us not to separate COVID and HIV. Both of them are the pandemics that make us to see the vulnerability of our people and especially our socio-economic status. So it means that we have to ensure that all people that we serve, people that the girls and the boys and the girls that we see are be able to be supported economically, socially, and we also bring up those activities where they will be able to engage in their youth, let's say, discussions, talking about issues that are affecting them as young people. And also, as the government, the role that we can play is to ensure that we get into schools, we do all the preventive measures before they fall pregnant, before they engage in sexual activity, so that we minimize the chances of them being engaged in those activities as early as we can.
Babalwa, it
We
seems.
know that our Department of Health has engaged now to introduce engages with young people and other stakeholders to introduce PrEP, which is a pre-exposure prophylaxis that will be now helping us to reduce the HIV infection among young people who are at risk of HIV transmission. So those are the other ways that the Department of Health is doing to assist and minimize those new infections that we are seeing daily on the daily basis that are rising up. So our role is to encourage those that could see that they are at risk to take PrEP, which is pre-exposure prophylaxis, in any clinic they can go to if they are HIV negative. And also we encourage them to do HIV testing, because by doing HIV testing, if you are exposed, you'll be able to know your status as early as possible, so that you can be provided a correct medication that will keep you healthy and live longer. So PrEP,
Sadly, Babalwa,
now, is the key for now in terms of reducing these new infections.
Sadly, it seems as if COVID-19 has put everything else on the back burner. COVID-19 just seems to have overtaken every aspect of our lives. That being said, according to UNAIDS, South Africa has the biggest and the most high-profile HIV pandemic in the world, with an estimated 7.7 million people living with HIV, and this was reported in the year 2018. Our country accounts for a third of all new HIV infections in Southern Africa. And unfortunately, in 2018, again, there were 240,000 new HIV infections, and 71,000 of those people that were infected died from AIDS-related illnesses. This despite the fact that South Africa also has the world's largest antiretroviral treatment program. So that's really very sad, isn't it?
I agree with you. It is very sad. The other thing that makes us to be difficult to reach the people, as much as we can do everything with as the department and other stakeholders, again, stigma still play a big role. We have seen that during COVID-19, people were stigmatized. Stigma is still there for HIV as well. So people are feared to be stigmatized, feared to be related to people that cannot take care of themselves, behavioral, people that would see them now taking the medication. So disclosure is another issue that we are still sitting with regarding HIV and AIDS in our society. So we need people who can come out and talk openly about it and encourage people to know that even if you can have HIV, even if you have COVID, you can still alive, you can still live if you take care of yourself, if you to follow the clinician advices, taking your medication as prescribed. So those are the two important things that we need to emphasize, so that our society can understand and also do things better as they are now. So I would like to say that it is important, still important for us to go out there, send out the messages, ensuring that people are not stigmatized, bringing awareness program to the community, because now community is our main drive to reduce all these challenges that we are having for new HIV infection and breaking of stigma for COVID and for HIV. So if we can do that, I think that will lead to better results at the end of the day.
Babalwa, wonderful talking to you. Babalwa Mbono, former mentor, mother, and obviously currently the project officer for Mother to Mother South Africa. Thank you indeed for your time, and go well.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
9:32 exactly, time for an ad break, and when we get back we will be talking with Christelle Groman about some good news for a change. South Africa's off the red list. What does that mean? Yay, holiday time, I should imagine. We'll be talking about all of that in a minute or two.